Hello everyone! Today I'm going to be sharing with you one of my go-to low-carb meal ideas for the family. This low-carb recipe for the family is a hit with both of my kids, and parents, you know how hard it is to find healthy recipes for the whole family. So I hope this video is helpful. Oh, and I'm going to be sharing with you a tip I recently discovered on how I feed my kids more vegetables. All right, let's get into it. So I'm starting off first with the side dish. I'm going to be making roasted butternut squash fries. I'm using the Trader Joe's pre-cut zigzag butternut squash to save some time because trying to cut a whole butternut squash just isn't that fun. Plus my kids like the shape, so they're more inclined to eat it. I preheated my oven to 375 and now I'm just using some avocado oil, salt, pepper, and garlic powder and giving that a toss with my hands. Then they go straight into the oven for about 25 minutes. I'll check periodically to give them a little shake. Now time to share with you that tip I recently learned about how to feed your kids more vegetables. So my mother-in-law has a huge garden in her backyard where she grows literally everything you can think of, including artichokes. She gave us a whole artichoke that she had boiled and my kids were obsessed. Not only did it taste really good, but they loved the novelty of peeling the petals themselves and scraping the flesh out with their teeth. They gobbled up the whole artichoke and wanted more. So I bought 4 whole artichokes from Trader Joe's, and here I'll show you how I steamed and served them. First, I trimmed the stems. Now, I was supposed to trim off about 1 centimeter off the top of the artichoke, but my dull knife and weak upper body strength made it impossible to cut through. I tried cutting them with a scissor, but I got really impatient, so I recruited my husband to help me out. Attempt number 1, fail. His shirt says Dad Bod, by the way. I bought it for him for Father's Day one year if anyone needs gift ideas for this upcoming Father's Day. Attempt number 2, success. Trying a different knife? What a brilliant idea. My husband is way smarter than I am. While he was trimming the other artichokes, I went ahead and started cutting off more of the tips to get rid of that spiky part on top of the petals and to help the artichokes steam better. Now into my pot they go to steam. They'll be steaming for about 30 to 40 minutes. And I ended up having to cut more of the stem here to make it fit into my pot. Now for the main dish, salmon, which I feel like is one of the healthiest foods in the world. I've avoided cooking salmon in my house for so long because every time I did try to cook it, it would always come out so dry and fishy that I wouldn't be able to eat it and my poor husband would have to choke it down. Until my friend told me to just add pesto on top, and that's it. I tried it and I'm never going back. It is so good. So I'm patting my salmon dry with some paper towels. Now, while it's always better to get wild-caught salmon, I find that wild-caught is more dry and fishy because the fat content is lower. So instead, I'm using farm-raised, but from Norway. I read somewhere that farm-raised Norwegian salmon is almost as good nutritionally as wild-caught salmon, and luckily Trader Joe's sells these barbecue-cut farm-raised Norwegian salmon, so that's what I go with. You can see those white strips of fat. That's what makes the salmon so juicy and delicious. So onto my salmon, I'm using the Kirkland brand pesto, which in my opinion is the best pesto out there outside of homemade, and I'm just spreading it on top evenly, making sure also to get the sides. Now I'm just gonna pop them in my air fryer. A Trader Joe's employee told me that salmon comes out better when cooked at a higher temperature for a shorter period of time than cooking at a lower temperature for a longer period of time, and he was totally right. So I'm going to be cooking these in my air fryer at 400 degrees for 10 minutes. So while that's going, I'm checking on my butternut squash and giving them a toss. Now my salmon is done. Yum! And quick tip, if you're making salmon and notice there are white clumpy chunks coming up to the top, it means you've overcooked it, and overcooked salmon equals dry salmon. Looks like my butternut squash is done too. Having salmon as a regular part of your diet is so good. It truly is a superfood. It's rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which reduces inflammation in your body, and it's been shown to improve heart health by decreasing triglyceride levels, decreasing the growth of artery-clogging plaque, and may even help in lowering blood pressure. It's also a great source of protein. Now let's go check on the artichokes. You'll know that they're done if your fork slides into the stem very easily. And when you try a petal, the inside flesh should be very soft and mushy. That's how my kids like it. I did notice with these store-bought artichokes that the meat in the outer petals were a little bit bitter, but that bitterness went away the closer I got to the heart. So keep that in mind when feeding it to your kids.
Where did you put this?
And there you have it, a healthy low carb recipe for the whole family to enjoy. And I'll go ahead and link more low carb recipe videos in the description box below. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any upcoming videos. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!